right now, the problem is not solved. A study that was done recently, we did it with the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, showed that 51% of the people are not prepared. That's an enormously high number. And when I've said this to some people, they say, "Oh no, Stuart, you're wrong. That's not the number." And of course, I think they're going one direction. They said it's much worse than that. And if you look at other industries, you wouldn't tolerate that kind of risk. I'll give you an example of an analogy. Assume that you're going into a company that is in the manufacturing arena, and that part of their manufacturing process involves some caustic acid. And if that acid spills, on average, it would cost $3.5 million to clean up. And yet you find out that 51% of the people that touch that, or could be in contact with that acid, are not prepared to avoid spillage. In terms of any safety regulation, it would be absurd to think that people would tolerate something like that. Yet in the cyber world, it's done all the time. So when I say drivers here, the assurance that your data is safe has become mandatory just to do business every day. If you're a law firm, and I've seen this before, where small law firms have really been cut out of business because they can't prove that their data is safe. You can't today deal with anybody really unless you have some proof statement that the data, if you're exchanging data, that it's safe. Can you imagine an M&A transaction where the law firm couldn't prove that they had procedures in place to keep the data safe? And it's also driven by regulators. You can see more and more of this coming from GDPR and the California regulations. And then from insurers, of course. I mean, why are we here today? We're talking about insurance. We're talking about what are the things that can be done. How do the insurers, how do the brokers, how do the NFPs of the world prove to the underwriters that they have taken steps to mitigate the risk of the employees making dumb mistakes?